Hello and welcome back to Dark Heresy. How's your evening going? How do the rules even work? How can a loving god cause such agony? Let's play! Last time, you linked up with Tora, consumed some mushrooms you probably shouldn't have, and rolled into the Ishwala hunting grounds with your fancy new ride. It's a lovely morning. You awaken in your tents in Ishwala, the nomads stirring in the sunrise next to you. What's the plan? What's going on? What's... what? Do not use soundboards in my good God-fearing podcast.
Well, we've sold some drugs. We've got some supplies.
Let's use we sparingly on that.
Businessman Tora has sold some drugs.
Attaboy.
Thank you.
Legal culpability.
We need to. So, I think we should come up with a game plan for when we meet the Blades.
I think the same. Also, why are you in my tent?
Look, it was real hot, and it was real cold, and I know your tootsies get real cold.
Why
I've just
do you
been
know
curled
that?
up. I've been, well, look, someone has to inspect your toes. That's why Lane gave me a key card in the Ipcris to get into your room. Have you not?
What?
You haven't had to cut your toenails ever since I arrived at the party. Have you just thought this was a normal thing?
I kind of thought that was the. Never mind.
I individually bite off all your toenails most nights.
You know, I could have lived my whole life without knowing that, and I'm going to continue to do so.
All right, good to know.
Right. So anyway, toes aside.
Like we want to go talk to the Blades of Thresh, right?
We want to understand their greater goals.
Yeah, but if we drive up there with a artillery truck, artillery man with a big gun on it, and say, no, this is ours. We just want to chat. They're just going to take it.
You haven't seen a big gun yet on one of these, buddy.
I have a big gun myself, I'll have you know, so I'm intimately familiar with handling.
I really, really wish that you'd put on your pants before coming over to the tent as well, but...
I'm just saluting you in the only way I know how.
You hear children playing outside. You're having this discussion inside one of the tents.
Tora's gun becomes firmer with the thoughts of killing children.
I think the worst part is that I'm downwind of it, and I think that's the part that I don't like.
Yeah.
I would agree with scouting. Team spirit.
Dick cheese and vulture blood.
This is a really good start to the podcast, guys. We've talked about biting... No, hang on. Not we've talked. Og's spoken about biting someone else's toenails off, and also dick cheese. So, like...
Tora.
Sorry, it's in character. That's fine. Those of you listening at home, this is absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. Welcome to the immersive world of Dark Heresy. Let's continue. Sorry for my interruption. How dare I?
No. I would agree with us at least getting a lay of the land with them. And from my guess with what they've done with the Toroks, I don't think they're going to be very friendly. I'm just going to throw that out there.
This is a good actual chance. So you've only really met one person that you think is with the Blades, which was the scout at the Metalali Oasis. But what evidence have you seen of the Blades in terms of their actions? You've seen the after effects of quite a few.
Well, we've seen the fact that they've destroyed an entire town/city encampment place out here.
Mm-hmm.
And
we've also seen stuff like defaced obelisks from them. A few other little bits and pieces. Obviously, stole the parts of your car.
They stole our ride, which not cool.
Defaced obelisks that had what symbols though?
So
they put Resh all over it.
Yeah, the word Resh. It was a early imperial monument. With some various basic psalms to the Emperor, and they had scratched over the word Emperor and carved Fresh in its place.
Which is not good. If anything, it's really bad.
I don't heresy.
It's the darkest kind of heresy, if I could think of it. Either way, I don't think we're going to be finding friends among them. Unless you
but we
guys
don't
think
need
differently.
to go guns blazing either, so...
I would agree with not going guns blazing either.
If we bring the guys that have all of the that already have taken a lot of the weaponry and stuff like that to the people, they're probably just going to take it from us. So we need to... If we can't can't go to a main group of theirs, let's face it. So really we want to find some kind of outlying party that potentially we can either intimidate if they want to try to take our stuff, or be able to take in a fight if it comes to it. So we need to find an outlying party, which if we find the main body, we can probably find some scouting or hunting parties related to it.
Sure, but they also value that Vresh, the Skyfallen, which Vresh was one of, and the and strength. So we could also just make a big show of it and have a drop pod come down from the sky, proving our strength and worth to talk to them.
We could, but I think we need to learn more about them first. Who's to say they don't just take whatever's in the drop pod, including the drop pod?
But it's not necessarily like that matters.
Well,
What
yeah,
if
that
we
does.
bring the intern with us?
No. You mean
In the drop pod we bring down that intern?
You mean Gunnar, the stormtrooper
Yeah.
aspirant, who's now
I don't
part
care
of the
to know
platoon?
their names.
You mean Zork?
I think having less of a presence out here is probably going to serve us better. We're already a big target with
They
this
already
thing.
know about us.
Very clearly they do.
Yeah, didn't they jack your wheels?
That's kind of my point. I don't
Have you
think
told
that they're
Have
going
you
to be.
told Dad about that yet?
Who's to? Oh no, no. He
But they
no.
stole
Nope.
while we weren't there. They may try to overpower and just take stuff.
It's gonna be
Uh-huh.
really nice that
Who's to say
someone else is
they
gonna
don't
be
have
the disappointment.
any ability to. You're like you think they have no desire to speak at all. That they will just. All they're going to do is take.
Well, if you walked up them and said, "Tell me where is Thresh? I much desire to speak with him."
I didn't say that.
I think I agree.
Do.
In principle, maybe not delivery, of what Torah is saying. I think if we find one of these little splinter groups off of the main body there, we might be able to get a little more information out of, well, whoever we find, really. Whether that's by talking to them or maybe coercing them into talking. What?
I like the cut of your jib.
Thank you. Thank you.
So in terms of supplies, what you guys have, if you remember, you've basically fully stocked on food and water now. You've got 4 days of fuel, 4 days of food, 4 days of water. So everything's looking kosher. You've traded your drugs for supplies at Ishwala. So the world is your oyster, really, in terms of where you go and what you do.
Where?
right.
Sorry, refresh us again. So
You are currently
from
in
the
the
inside,
Ishwala hunting grounds.
yeah. And they passed through. A group of them passed through. Was it the previous day? Did they give us a time frame?
It seemed to be the previous day, if you remember, that you saw lots of tracks going west from Frudim, going towards the hunting grounds. By the time you got here, because bear in mind you had to wait around for these guys to go all the way back to the Pleasure Dome and all the way back to you on foot. So it took a while. It's been about a week, and then they seem to have moved on towards Kuart's Crossing. So
Oh no, as in when the blades came through and borrowed the troops
from Ishwala, yeah, they seem to have taken
Ishwala.
some people.
Yeah, but that was a bit ago.
Yeah, I'd say maybe a day and a night ago.
Oh, so we're right behind them then. Oh, that's very fortunate. Okay. Well, then if that's the case, we probably should start heading towards Quartz Crossing and, I guess, scouting to see if they have any smaller parties that are breaking off from the main body. I mean, they got to get food somehow, right? I mean, I think that's a good idea, but I'm just the hunter of the group.
I picture Lothar still in his sleeping bag for this as well, like immediately.
Absolutely,
just walked in.
Tora's curled up around his feet like a cat.
Yeah, absolutely. What I pictured is that you're just sitting there on my feet, and then Amelia is
I'm
in the doorway
between your toes.
I really wish you wouldn't use my floss for that.
So is that the plan then, heading towards Kuart's Crossing?
I'm down for that. What say you? Okay.
That was already the plan before, so
I will just reaffirming it.
Efficiency.
Yeah, and the sooner we do this, the sooner that, Tora can stop flossing my toes.
So how are you getting there? Are you taking the centaur? Or
I
are you
would
going
l-
on foot or by horseback? You only have one horse.
I think we take the centaur, but I think we need to be kind of hyper aware as we approach. Like, let's face it, they'll see us before we see them anyway.
Not if I've got something to say about it.
Yeah, but you need the extra vision things. You pussy.
I. That's. Okay. Well, then here's my idea. We take a majority of us into the Centaur, and I act as an outrider. That way I can scout things out and send things back to you guys.
I like this.
So Lothar, you're going to ride on Horse Heresy.
Yes.
That's a cool image. Yeah.
Amelia, you can see through our eyes anyway, can't you?
Some of ours.
At a certain distance.
What is a distance? God?
I don't recall if there was one.
Tora, as you look up, there is a small hole in the top of the tent, and you hear a voice coming through. I believe it was around a kilometer, as long as you were in open terrain.
Thanks, Tom. From the Ogscast.
Bye.
Is this about the same as our microbeads?
It's basically microbead distance.
Yeah, that part I'm good with. I can use a microbead, all right. So, I guess we should probably break camp and suit up, unless there's anything we wanted to do here first.
You kind of get the feeling
already, so
the other nomads here seem to be packing up. A few of them are still haggling over weapons, but most of them seem to be packing up their tents and ready to move on. If you remember, this isn't a formal settlement. This is a camp for tonight only on the Ishwala hunting grounds.
We could have seen if they needed medical assistance as well. That probably would have. We could have traded some minor medical assistance for supplies as well.
When I said, "Hey, I look around to see what's what," God didn't tell me there was anybody in need of medical.
You didn't ask.
But also, God didn't tell me, "Hey, does anyone? That person looks like he wants to buy drugs either."
Yeah,
I
sometimes
feel
it just
like
happens.
God doesn't tell you a lot of things.
No, God speaks to me privately.
Oh, okay.
So, as you guys pack up your stuff, you pack up the tent, you head over to Horse Heresy, who is in a weird staring contest with BGZ. BGZ is basically holding the reins, and they're just kind of looking at each other.
Are you guys okay?
BGZ says nothing.
Oh yeah, right. Because the thing. BGZ, I'm gonna be hopping on horse here. Thank you for holding on to the horse.
You don't. BGZ is the second binary, Lothar. Emilia, he says, mount up, he whose arms are long, ride well.
Gotcha. So halfway from camp, I put my arms around Horse Heresy and am able to ideally hop up. I think I'm going to try to.
Yeah. Now you've already bonded with this animal before. We've established this. Could you give me a what's the roll that we used last time? I believe it was survival, wasn't it?
I believe so.
I think it was survival agility. I think. Let's give you a +20 bonus on this because you're just trying. This is going to represent not you mounting up, although if you cock it up, you will fall in the stirrup. But this is you riding Horse Heresy all of today. Amazing.
Whoa.
Lothar, what does this look like?
Okay. This looks like in one swift motion, I put one foot in the stirrup and get my stubby little leg wide in one fluid motion, give a quick kick, rear up, and say, all right, we're good to go.
BGZ looks at you with a feeling of admiration. You feel like there's nothing behind his helmet, but man, he's looking happy.
I
The
am
vibes
too.
are good. Yeah. The rest of you, you mount up in the Centaur and you sort of bid farewell to the few people over here and gave you some food, and you head southwest towards Quartz Crossing. Could I get an operate surface test, please, from whoever's driving, which I'm going to assume is Amelia. Obviously, you guys are split in vehicles now, but I'm going to count it that Lothar, you are moving at the speed of the party. That makes sense. Cool.
Yeah.
That's an 81. Could you roll a D100 for me, please? As well, and I'll run my fantastic Excel calculation. A 91. Okay. Give me. No. Lower's worse. Remember.
Oh, right.
Cool. Okay, yeah, this one's nice. As you guys are driving and riding along, on a strangely flat part of the desert is a single Unitorum standard jerry can, which is standing there casting a long shadow in the midday sun.
Hey, heads up, we got a jerry can up ahead. Can I use... I want to try and see if there's any traps or anything like that that have been set with said jerry can.
Get me an awareness test, please.
Gladly.
Amazing. Looks fine.
Oh,
It looks clear. You don't see any tracks leading here. It appears to just be, a jerry can. Strange.
it seems pretty safe, guys. I'm gonna ride in to check it out here. If you guys want to watch my back.
Sure.
BGZ gets up on the 50 cow at the top of the centaur.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna trot along.
Tor readies one of his guns.
He readies his machete. He's got hatchets. Never mind.
Yeah.
Right. So Luther's gonna pop down and see what the jerry can's all about.
You poke at it. It is a pretty much full jerry can in surprisingly good condition.
Huh.
It doesn't appear to be out here long. It's not covered in dust. It's not like it's been buried here for years. This is relatively new.
And can I what is it full of? Because it might be fuel, it might be piss. I don't know.
You open it and give it a quick whiff, and
You need me to come sniff it for you?
No.
It's Promethium. It is probably about a day's worth of fuel.
Oh shoot! All right. Gas is on me, guys. I'm coming on back. If you want to pull up the centaur quick.
Yeah. So let's just add it on and move on.
Cool.
Absolutely.
In that case, you guys aren't going to use up fuel for this day. Because you got a little bit of bonus. Awesome. So, as you guys are approaching Quartz Crossing from the northeast, let me see a second. So, it is. So, on the banks of the dried up river Yanim, there is a ruined tower that you see in the distance. It's scorched white by the sun. I'm going to say you're about 500 meters away. You're in an area of flatland, so you're able to see it quite clearly here. What would you like to do?
Same as before. I'm hoping to inspect, ideally with my scope or binoculars, to try and see if I can figure out some signs of life there.
Give me an awareness test, please, with your binoculars, whatever the bonus is of those. I want to say it's plus 20. I might be wrong.
I am perfectly okay if you are wrong. Now I'm not.
Okay.
Can I spend a fate point?
You absolutely can.
Well, I'm going to do that.
Re-roll that boy.
Absolutely. With that plus 20 goodness to get.
Boom.
Oh, thank goodness. My eyes didn't fall out. There we go.
Lothar, I think as an outrider, you've managed to skirt around the centaur. Riding ahead, you stop, and you can see that this is no unoccupied ruin. There are many figures in long desert robes digging a large pit to the southwest of it. You see numerous tents with fire pits just catching the glow in the evening sun here. It's the signs of civilization. It looks like people have been here for some time. Towards the top of the tower, you notice a large sort of unlit brazier with several figures standing around it. You can't see what's in the pit. It's kind of obscured by the tower, but yeah, it is occupied. I would say there's probably around 30 to 50 people here.
We've got company, guys. Can I tell at all with that if they are blades or not?
I'm going to say at this distance, yeah, you can see they've got red headscarves, but could it be a fashion choice?
Do they all have red headscarves?
They all seem to have red headscarves to the people you can see. A few of them aren't wearing them, but everyone who is wearing a headscarf, it's red.
Gotcha.
Hello.
It appears we've got a lot of folks with some red headscarves up there. Does that mean anything to you guys?
That's
Maybe
most
they're
likely
The Bloods.
the Blades.
Gesundheit. Right. Brilliant. Well, I guess we ran into them, and they're not exactly in small. Well, I guess it's kind of a small group. I only see about, I don't know, 40 to 50 of them over here.
Right.
What do you guys want to do?
You guys want to err on the side of caution, so
Let's go kill them all. No, I'm kidding. Don't yell at me again, Amelia.
that we can attempt to just make ourselves known and try to have an audience with them. Perhaps trade if necessary. But you guys believe that will just get us our things taken?
I'm always willing to kill innocent people. So
Again, we have the ability to call things in if we need to. There's no reason we shouldn't use it if it's to our advantage and necessary.
Well, shall we at least, well, what are we going to call in, and should we get it prepared now? Because it's not going to come instantly from orbit.
He's right, actually.
Well, that's what I've been to discuss earlier, but okay.
Well, we got time.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere. They look like they're digging in.
What would you like to
Well, what do we know of their religion other than just things falling from the sky? The sky fallen, and Vresh. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Vresh is a sky fallen. This old one.
do? Fresh
this
seems to be
capsule.
some kind of, originally, from what you were briefed, Vresh is venerated here as an unauthorized imperial saint, as in he is the right hand of the emperor, and he has chosen Aldradar as his promised land, where he is bestowing great gifts upon the people here. Through Vresh is himself not Skyfallen, but he seems to be, at least to the people here, the cause of all the weapons, all the food that they get delivered from orbit, because his name's on all of it. So why wouldn't it not come from him?
Fair point.
Why
So-
not deliver a feast from a god?
But if we're going to do that, we have to slap Vresh's name on it first, so that they know it's definitely the same
Yeah,
thing.
just tell the chef to take the F off and put a V.
I hate that in so many ways, but I love it. Should I get on the horn then with the big L?
If you want to go with the shock and awe, show and tell approach,
Well,
yeah. Otherwise, we wait until they're some split off, and we kind of camp and keep an eye out for them to separate.
Do we get
wanna
the sense
go
that we've been picked up?
Yeah,
From
have we
this
been watched yet?
distance, you didn't see anyone looking back your way. You do notice this tower would be a good observation point.
They're going to see us
But
coming no
you
matter
didn't
what
see
way.
like people with binoculars or anything at the top, but that might just be because you didn't see them, not that they didn't see you.
Also, then again, maybe a feast is not necessarily the best option either. They do value like strength.
So, an artillery shell? Is that what you're saying?
Let's deliver an artillery shell
Let's
by a
just
cannon.
bombard them.
I feel like we probably. I don't know. It's. I'm okay with us at least waiting it out. If you wanted to try to talk with them first, I begrudgingly will go with you. But I'm telling you, I get really bad vibes out of this.
I will come
I
to.
am deferring to you guys since you both are in agreement. So that's 2 versus 1.
Let's maybe have. Well, there's the idea of bringing in air support when we know they have an anti-air gun. Might not be the best idea we've ever had, but I think we should go for it anyway.
I also don't see a Hydra with them. But they could have had it parked behind the tower, so I don't really know.
They could have painted it. Would have painted it yellow like sand, and we wouldn't see it. See now, Lothar, that is called camouflage.
It sure is, buddy. Let me come back to you guys here. Hold on a second. So I'm going to ride over back to wherever the centaur's at and say, look, I mean, we can try and make some first contact with them, but one of us is going to have to stay back, I think, to make sure that this is, I guess, either to make sure that our camp stuff doesn't get discovered before we want to be discovered, or to also keep an eye on what they do as we approach them from a distance.
BGZ says I can guard the vehicle.
I believe that you can. So, how do we want to do this? Do the two of you want to talk with them, and I'll stick back and keep an eye on things if, I don't know, we start to have trouble, or...
I like this. I'll go as the enforcer.
I mean, it's going
Andy,
to be
you're good at talking to people.
Strange encounter no matter what we do, I think.
It's going to be a pretty close encounter here.
This would be like more than the second, but less than the fourth strange encounters we've had, right?
I think if we had a round in between those two, yeah, I think I'd agree.
What I mean is, I don't have an idea how to start the conversation without a character. Oh, hey, look, lunch. Point up.
Hey, Fresherinos.
I mean, I'm joking, but Lothar, sure you want to hang back?
Yes. I'm most effective at a distance, in case we need to be effective at a distance.
Just like you are with women.
Sure am. Right. So while you guys are approaching, I can at least make contact with Lane to get something ready in case we want to drop something for them as a gift from the sky.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Okay, cool. Then let's do that.
So, Amelia and Tora, you guys start heading towards Quartz Crossing. Lothar, you jump on the old Voxcaster.
Beep boop boop bop.
Hello.
We need something prepped to be fired down to the planet.
Yeah, who's calling? Nah, just fucking with you. Lothar, what's up? You need something prepped. Okay, what do you want?
We're hoping to have some foodstuffs or things like that. We're trying to make an impression.
Oh, it's not for you, is it? You could tell me. You're not starving, are you?
No. We're fine. Everything is fine. There's no problems.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, no. We're looking to try and understand a little bit more with what we're dealing with, and basically our plan is to show these folks that we are of the Skyfall and yada yada yada. It's a long story. But we're hoping to have it prepped in case we need it. Can we ask for that?
I can see if we can prepare a small container of ration packs to be fired down. Give me 20 minutes to get it assembled, but it would, even if you told me to launch it right now, it would be about 15 minutes until it makes planetfall.
Totally fair. One other thing, if on the outside we can put, Amelia had a really good idea of if there's anything that says fresh on the side, instead just replace it with a V, that'd be great.
Oh, so it says the fresh.
No. We're removing the F in its place,
I see.
putting the V, for fresh.
Oh, Lothar, and you get the sense that he's kind of leaning really close to the Voxcar and says, "I always knew you were the smart one, Lothar. You've not disappointed me."
Yeah, I sure haven't.
What a fantastic idea. Anyway, brilliant.
How's the car?
Just give me a shout.
How's the car? How's it running?
You made sure has the
will do.
oil.
I
know
realised
that
something listening back is that the car's not even
sticky.
the car's not even lanes. It's yurts.
Is it?
Yeah, I
Oh my
got the
God,
car
is
for
it?
you guys.
All right, whatever. No,
But
no,
Lane was like,
I'm-
"Yo, that's fucking cool, awesome. I love cars."
I didn't realize it was yurts. Holy
Yeah,
shit!
so like Lane wants the car back on the Ipcrest. That's what he wants. He wants to take that with him next
I'm
planet.
not gonna,
Um,
he'll always have a part of it.
yeah, that's right.
He needs a new golf buggy.
Yeah. So-
After Orphamiel helps him like take another 2 off his handicap.
yeah.
That's Lothar's side question.
Yeah,
Is we need to get the car back in order.
As he goes, right, I need to go. I'm in the middle of something now. You hear a vaguely familiar voice say something about what the par is, and then you hear the sound of something going whoosh across as it gets knocked down the range. Anyway, bye, and he hangs up on you.
Right. Bye. If he ever figures out about the hold on, off. If he ever figures out about the car. Right, and over the microbead. 20 minutes to assemble, 15 minutes to come down from orbit. Just so you guys know as you're walking up. I'm gonna get in position over here to make sure that I keep an eye on things.
What if we call it in now and then we'll be ready?
It'll be ready in
almost
45 minutes.
35.
So, what do you want BGZ doing? Do you want him just sat in the centaur? Like, I'm kind of picturing behind the sand dune is where, like Lothar, you're set up on the crest of it, and
Yeah.
BGZ's kind of in cover a little
Yep.
bit, whilst these guys go
Yeah.
ahead. Cool.
Mhm.
Glad we've got the same visuals. Awesome. So, do you guys want to wait, or do you just want to walk over to them?
That's I think we call it down now and we go have a chit chat before we
We
start
don't even
walking
know if
over.
we'll need it.
It's not assembled yet. Just so
Yeah.
you guys know. Beep, beep. I assume my microbead makes a beep.
Yeah, no,
It makes whatever
yeah,
noise you
it's
want,
not
Lothar.
ready, nor do
Okay.
we know if we need it.
Okay, but if we do need it, we're like, and we have
No,
gifts
we
from
have
the
to tell them to wait
sky.
for 15 minutes.
Then stall for 15 minutes, guys. It's not that hard.
So what's the so are we gonna say we are like emissaries of Fresh? Or are we just saying where
I would
other
like to
sky falling?
avoid claiming anything about Fresh if we can. Simply, we are looking for an audience with the Blades of Fresh. That's what we are. Like, there's no need to say anything beyond that initially.
Fair enough. Cool.
What if we just
we've
say
heard-
we're
We've heard
Skyfall and
details. We've sought them through the desert. We wish to know more. Something along those lines. We're currently dressed as regular desert nomads as well. Keep in mind, I got everybody their
At least
outfits.
from a distance, it would be pretty hard to tell you apart. But I think
should
up
I
close,
should
they
I
would look
put
like
away my Xenos technology scythe?
Yo, you don't have a pocket space that it just goes into when you're not using it?
Look, it's I no.
He's got a string around his neck.
Wearing it like a shark tooth.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
saying we don't stand out, but that might be good for us as well, because we're clearly not the usual sort, and it might help since they value strength and so on. Get ready to maybe need to do a feat of strength.
Oh, I'll fucking fight anyone, cunt. Oh, I've been killing nothing but birds. I want to kill something that'll fight back.
Perfect.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Oh.
there.
As you guys, I think you guys start walking towards Quest Crossing. I'm going to say it's about half an hour. It's like if you called Lane now, it'd be here in 15 minutes, basically, is what I'm saying. Lovely. Yeah. How are you doing this? Are you just strolling on up? Are you trying to be a little bit stealthier? Like, what's the vibe that we're going for?
We're going for confidence.
Yeah, I would agree.
Firm handshake.
Big step in your way.
Yeah, strolling on up.
Yeah. I think as you get closer, a shout goes up, I think, from the top of the tower. You hear this, Lothar. Looking through the scope, it sounds like someone's pointed. They're yelling something you can't quite hear down towards the people.
Lothar's scope's got sound.
No, it's in you're too
My
far away
ears
to hear
That's
it.
a, that's
You can't
a
hear the
cool
specifics.
You're telling me.
One of
It's
those
a
like
desert at
laser
night.
listening.
It's
You're
got
fine.
text to speech.
It's got text to speech.
It read
It's
its
got
lips.
subtitles.
That's so cool. Why didn't I think of that as
Oh
an
my God.
attachment for the scope?
That
So
actually was
That'd be really cool.
reasonable.
a directional sound scope is a really funky idea. I love that.
I like that too.
So yeah, so I think
That's something that exists in the real world.
Lothar
You can point
far
it at
ears.
Yeah. So after a moment, 3 people saddle up on horses and start riding out towards you two. Lothar, they do not appear to have noticed you. They're still quite some distance away from Quartz Crossing. But yeah, I think as you get closer, Amelia and Tora, there's 2 of them with long lances, and another one doesn't hold any weapon in his hands, but he does seem to have quite a long, heavy chainsword at his waist. They raise their lances to signify you should stop.
Oh,
We pause.
Stop.
The man without the lances clears his throat and then says, "Who are you?"
We're travelers who seek. If these aren't the right guys, this could go bad. Who seek the blades of Vresh.
And what do you want with them?
Tell
We've
me where's Gandalf. I much desire to speak with him.
We've heard and seen a great many things, and we desire to understand the blades and perhaps perhaps there are things we can aid each other with.
The man sort of looks at the other 2 and dismounts, and he walks over to you. As you get closer, you see he's probably in his, I would say, late 30s. You see that he has a V carved into his forehead. It seems to be quite scarred. It seems to have been quite a while ago. It seems to have some sort of extra decoration around it, like the top of the V has an extra 2 lines coming off of it. It's much more ornamental than just a plain low Gothic V. He comes close to you, but he's still like a good 10 meters away. You see that he's got a las pistol with a curved handle in a chest holster and this sort of chainsword at his hip. Obviously, these are looted or gifts from Vresh, depending on your interpretation of the Imperial Creed. And yeah, he looks at you both and says, "What do you wish to know of the blades?"
This is where I need to think.
That's fine. A series of dialogue options appear at the bottom of your HUD, Amelia. Which one do you choose?
You can attempt a romance.
We understand that you are strong and wanted to see your strength for ourselves.
He nods his head slowly and says, "Well, you are correct there. You'll find no stronger tribe in this desert than the Blades of Vresh."
I also wish to understand, perhaps not Vresh's plans, but yours. What does this desert look like when the Blades have what they want?
My plan.
And where do we fit into that?
The plan of the Blades of Vresh is equal to that of Vresh. It is time that his gifts were seized by those who are worthy of them, and use it to unite the people of the deserts of the Burnt Kings, as it was in the old days.
I have a weird question. Are
Go
you
on.
guys leaving the microbead open for me to hear this too?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Tora's making fart noises into the mic.
I hate it so much. That sounds a little not good.
What would you like to do?
Oh well, I guess this is in
No, I wasn't
character.
gonna say anything in character. Just out of character, it's like, well, We have found a relic, technically, right? It's
Well,
some
yeah,
potential
technically.
goodwill if we desire it.
We're gonna lose another car.
We don't need it though. That's the thing.
Well, you currently have no other vehicle.
Other than
Yes,
the
but we
Senate.
can call something in if we really need to. That's what I'm saying.
Is that a signal for you guys to tell me to start the 15-minute timer for this making planetfall? By the way, for the gifts from above thing.
I haven't said anything.
Oh right, this is out of character. Never mind.
Yes.
These guys are ugly. Oh, scope was too low. Sorry.
It's just pointing at Tora's
got-
face.
You've got
Point
your,
at Tora.
you've got your chance to talk. What would you like to talk about?
Well,
So they want to unite the desert under their rule, basically.
It seems so, yeah.
Yeah. Which, as I've said before, is not necessarily a bad thing.
Ask them what Resh teaches.
What does Thresh teach you?
Fresh teaches strength, honor, loyalty, above all to Fresh. These things this desert is built on, and these things this desert will return to. Such is his will.
That sounds like heresy.
We've come to understand more. Almost a pilgrimage, if you will. Is there ways in which we could learn of Vresh for a time?
He kind of looks, I think, back to the two other warriors with lances. He says, "This is as far as you will see of Fresh and his wonderful lands. If you wish to know more, you will speak to me here. That is all.
Oh,
We
that's
offer no
okay.
pilgrimage. All of the desert is Fresh's. If you wish to see his glory, go find it."
We have seen plenty so far.
He smiles at you.
I'm just stuck on how I want to word it. About if they're
That's
going to
fine.
unite the desert, then why turn away?
Because they're turning away from the Emperor's light.
No. Want to unite the desert? Why turn away those who wish to know more?
Well, you're not. Well, that's a question.
Fair
Isn't it?
question. I would
Yeah,
ask that.
I mean, that's. I was trying to. I asked that. If you're trying to unite the desert, why turn away those who wish to know more, to perhaps be of service?
Fresh does not want those who will come in meekly. Fresh wants those who will prove themselves in the crucible of war and show that they have the fire that Fresh needs to forge a brighter tomorrow.
Morning.
Good morning, he says.
I whistle for Tora to go into rage mode. Fight them. No,
Sounds like I should.
I'm almost tempted to just say drive the fucking tank over the hill. Show them.
Out of character, I want to advise you that what we have is not a tank. We have
You
a
know
thing
what I
that
mean?
pulls
I
artillery.
understand. It's
Right.
Like,
It's
so
an armor
it's like-
tractor, basically,
Yeah.
with the gun on.
We have a tractor with it. We have a farmer's equipment version of a. But
it's still got a heavy bolter on the top.
It's
No,
a
it's not
heavy
a-
stubber.
and a
Heavy stubber,
robot man.
Yeah.
and a robot man. Yeah, do you guys have a robot man?
Yeah. Don't think
You
so.
do.
Yeah.
Dorks.
The Omnisci will kick the ass out of Fresh, and you fucking know it.
I guess.
Why don't we just say, like, if we've already conquered a group and taken a relic of Vresh off them, is this not proof enough? And then, actually,
Do you wanna
Tora
send-
would like to take his second last tin of beer out and hold it up, and so it's like, well, we are mighty warriors, having secured a relic of Fresh already and taking out those that possessed it for their own gain. Like, we have men that can shoot the wing off a fly, and Tora would like to hold up a tin of beer and then tap the micro bead twice, which is Lothar's indication to shoot it out of his hand.
Well, actually, hearing you say that, I'm like, oh, he's wanting me to shoot this thing.
Lothar, make a ballistic skill test for me, please.
Flat
Don't
ballistic skill, or
shoot
can I
full
try
aim.
hit?
Full aim.
Thank you. Hit.
It's not a snapshot of the beer can.
Full aim. Standard range, I assume, because I can't.
Yes, you've got a scope and everything. This is fine.
Standard rate of fire. Any modifiers to this?
Nope.
Damn straight.
Amazing. I'm not going to have you roll damage because it's a beer
Too
can.
late.
Oh, well, you deal damage.
Says nothing.
It says nothing for me.
shit.
It pops up later on Roll20.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Tora, what does this look like?
It's a beautiful, clean shot, and Tora then shotguns the beer.
I, in the meantime, while he's shotgunning the beer, I'm repositioning so that I'm not.
Okay. The man kind of jumps at this shot. He didn't really expect it, and he does look to where you were, Lothar, but obviously there's just a cloud of dust there. He kind of nods slowly and says, "It was a fine shot."
Over the microphone, damn right it was.
Tora's like, yeah, yeah.
We possess unique strengths of our own. As I said, we may be able to help each other. It's not simply that we wish to join and be protected or something of that sort. We do truly wish to understand and benefit and mutually benefit from each other.
He kind of nods slowly and says, "Whilst I appreciate and Vresh appreciates the offer, we have no need for gifts or offerings from the weak. You understand this?"
Should I place another shot?
What about gifts from Vresh himself?
Yeah, do it. Say that. That's a really good idea.
Do you think so? I mean, I'm willing to play the bold card and just roll the dice and see where it goes.
What about gifts from the sky itself?
Just give us 15 minutes.
Wait here.
It's like we can summon gifts from the sky itself. We just need to perform a ritual.
Oh, yes.
Yes, true.
And at that saying, then I'm over the Vox. I'm going to be sending back in the lane. Coordinates, quartz crossing, X is this, Y is this.
Oh, I don't need the coordinates. You've all got microchips in your head. That's a joke.
Excuse me,
yeah,
what
no
is-
worries. Bye. And he presses the button.
Tora doesn't even have the microchip in his head. It's just like hot glue gunned onto the back of his neck, and it just beeps.
He itches it occasionally, but he likes it because he thinks it's a friend.
There's a certain tailor on the Ipcrest that looks over like the bomb control panel with the big red buttons in front of him, just thinking about it every now and then.
Yeah. But yeah, something is launched from the Ipcrest. He obviously there's no sudden explosion of goods or anything, but he says, "If you believe you can summon strength from the heavens as Vresh does, then perhaps prove your strength and take from Vresh then, if that is what you wish to show me."
Amelia, pull out your sacred unguents.
14 minutes
Sacred
inbound.
what?
Yeah, unguents.
Unguents.
Yes. My onions? Like what?
Yeah, where are your onions?
Sure. My
What a weird cat
Megadendrite
call.
has the incense. Sure, I'll make up. I'll just I'll just basically start doing some machine spirit stuff just on nothing and circling.
You're doing like the
Tora.
ritual of activation for a certain chassis of Chimera, but obviously the rest of these people can't hear it. Yeah, he kind of stands back and not particularly amused by this. He doesn't really know what's going on. Anything else you would like to do before it potentially arrives?
Tora performs his rain dance.
What does this look like?
Oh no, it's what? So on his time on the prison planet, part of Tora's one of his bunkmates was actually a Maori
Oh, cool.
from from the moon of Zeal,
Yes.
otherwise known as Otera.
Hmm.
So he's from the moon of Otera, and so he learnt he's a bit confused by it because he thought it was he was be smoking from a series of pipes and stuff like that, but instead it seems that it's a lot of yelling. So he does the hookah.
The hookah, of course.
Mm.
Formed famously by the ruggable team of the All Whites before their games. Yeah, this hookah is loud and intimidating. There's lots of tongues out and that wah thing where they move the hands across, as we all know. And yeah, I think
The whitest thing. Hearing an Englishman go, yes, and they stick their tongues out.
they do that thing, you know, that those people
With
in
the
that part
tongue.
of the world do. They stick it out, and it's quite intimidating.
Watch
And
from
then
the distance.
Lothar, looking above in the sky, you notice a small shape which is ascending very, very rapidly. As it is about 50 meters from the ground, you notice it is a large storage crate. It is not like a drop pod in terms of space marine stuff. It seems it is basically a modified grav chute that has fitted around the storage container, which is firing some retro thrusters as it comes further and further down. And there's a plume of sand as it makes landfall, and it sits there.
It's landed.
It's
Well,
right
yeah,
in front
I
of
mean,
you guys. It's pretty
Yeah, I
accurate.
was just saying, like, how close is it?
Yeah, it kills Tora immediately.
It's actually back to Ishwala hunting grounds.
Yeah.
4 children have gotten crushed.
Yeah. Well, it lands basically between you and this guy.
Lane was tracking Tora by the drugs in his pack.
He sort of looks around it. It doesn't say anything on the outside of it. It is a sort of standard Minotaurium crate, and he walks around. It says, "Impressive. I could tell you are not from round here, are you? You are Skyfallman."
You're goddamn right.
We don't originate from here, no, but we learn more.
He, I think, pulls sort of the heavy mechanical handle, and all the walls of this crate come off of it, revealing basically a really, really crammed crate of lots of different ration packs. You see hastily all of the ones that say fresh serving of such and such has been replaced into fresh serving of. And far away on the Ipcrest, Lane puts the white Sharpie back in his pocket and goes, "Fucking did it. Fantastic. I'm the best Inquisitor in this segment." And he goes back to his desk. And yeah, I think he picks up one of the ration packs, this man, and he opens it, sniffs it, says, "If you wish to aid Resh more, then perhaps there is more we could talk about."
That worked.
Yeah, and I'd
Tell me,
repeat that
where is
exactly.
Gandalf? For I must desire to speak with him.
Stop.
If you wish to something fresh more, I didn't.
If you wish to help Resh more, there is perhaps things that we could talk about.
As I said, we hope to be able to give and gain knowledge and strength.
If you wish to give knowledge to Resh, here is something you could do for us here. Ride to the Sky Starers Scriptorium. Tell us how many are there and what defenses they have. Return here and you will be rewarded.
Oh dear.
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose say, yeah, we'll see what we can accomplish.
What would you like to do?
We gotta go kill some kids.
Not in the scriptorium or not. Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Ever since the writer's strike, I've had a very dim opinion of That might be one of the more dumb things I
Yeah,
think
one
I've
of.
said.
So, are you done with this chat with this fella?
I suppose, yeah, there's not much more we can gain at the moment.
You see
I
him
would
doesn't
take
feel
out
like it.
a small. Well, I mean, Lothar, you see this perhaps more
Hmm.
familiarly than everyone else, in that there is a small Imperial Guard L-shaped flashlight he takes out of a pouch. He holds it up in the air and he briefly moves his hand across it in a pattern which you don't recognise. Back on Quartz Crossing at the top of the tower, it is mirrored, and you see a few more people who are now mounted on horseback and are slowly making their way towards where this supply drop was. The horses are not dressed for war, they are dressed for supply. They have large, heavy bags.
It
Tora would
seems-
like to just first of all. Tora would like to take like a couple of the packs of rations just in case.
in front of them, huh?
Are you doing this intentionally? Like, so he can see?
Yeah, Tora walks over to the pack to the crate and says, we're just taking 2 of these for the road."
As you reach for them, the man turns to you and says, "These are a gift for Vresh, and that deal must be honoured in this desert."
What if we arm wrestle for it?
He does not say anything.
Is that a yes?
These are a gift for Vresh, and that deal will be honoured.
Don't fuck this
well.
up, Tora.
Well, Tora's got the itchies.
So
Tora.
here's a question though, just
Sure.
out of character. So, a gift for Vresh, not from Vresh.
So how he seems to be interpreting it is that you have summoned these from the heavens in the same way that Vresh does, but you were offering it to him as Vresh does, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
But now then, where? I guess my is like the way it's being said is as if Vresh is a person they can bring it to.
I wonder if that's intentional.
Yeah, but I don't. I guess that's where I'm struggling to think of like what. How to tactfully ask that, because
I'm
they're
gonna
not
be
just gonna be
honest
like,
as
"Oh
well,
yeah, my leader's right over
His
here."
his current vibes do
Well,
not
yeah,
put him in a
with
position to chat.
fucking Tora
Yeah.
doing that, of course. Yeah.
Tora will waggle his eyebrows at him and walk away. Remember this, big boy.
He merely stands where he was.
Excuse his lack of etiquette. He is strange.
He is lacking
no.
in honor.
He's
He
not
says.
a great warrior, Tora.
Yeah, he just says Tora is
You-
lacking in honor.
You
as
jump
he
on
walks
a
away.
you jump on a landmine to save someone's life, and no one says, "Oh, Tora, the guy that saved me from the landmine." You fight marinara monsters underneath the waves, and no one says, "Oh, thanks, Tora, for fighting the marinara monsters." You kill one squat, you're a strange guy.
Tora,
Yes.
do you even deny it?
Deny what?
You're a strange man.
Oh no, I'm well fucking weird.
Exactly.
So I take it you guys are walking
Yeah,
back to the centaur as you're saying this.
Thank the fucking Emperor.
Oh, it's a lovely image of Tora saying, "No, I'm well fucking weird." Whilst like taking a drag through a cigarette. It's all like nighttime. It's
Yeah,
lovely
but
image.
no, I'll put Amelia, like puts a hand on his shoulder, and as I've said before, a friend.
Aw.
Aww.
Thanks, Emily.
Tora.
Lothar, as these two approach, they slide down the dune on your side and you're back at the centaur. What do you guys want to do?
I mean, to review, but I'm also going to mention that in character, like, so maybe I'm mistaken, but it almost sounds like Vresh is a person, place, or thing that they can actually bring these offerings to,
Sounds like we gotta figure out where they're bringing it to.
which will be difficult with the amount of them being able to watch who's watching them.
Who is watching the Watchmen?
Well, we were.
There's-
I was.
In terms of
Oh,
locations,
shit.
there's a few spaces you haven't been to yet. And that's it. You know
That's
that
true.
the Blades of Resh are roaming, but this seems to be a fairly static location for them, seeing as they're literally digging a hole for something.
I almost feel. All right. RPG senses are telling me probably Fuad's Hold. More realistically, probably the Trelna Oasis, which we have not gone to either of those yet.
Have you guys, slightly out of context, so you guys realised some of these names, what they're in reference to?
No.
Okay.
Well,
I should probably tell you. So I mentioned when you guys went to the Pleasure Dome that let me change the map to that very, very briefly.
Thanks.
In that the area for food was called Fuad Kurt, which you guys believed it was. Everyone said there was a statue there of some great hero who brought food to people, and you all said, "Oh, clearly it's just the word food court that's been changed over years." However, on the map you've been given, there seems to be Fuad's Hold and Quartz Crossing.
The
Okay.
food.
This
It's a
is
food hold.
This is unrelated. I just wanted to flex about place names and
You're a
people
dumb
and the
idiot.
change.
Fucking dork.
You're just a dumb idiot.
I just wanted, much like when I tricked you guys with the driving range, I wanted you guys to go, oh, fucking, here it is, the food court again. But that was about like a year and a half ago that I brought up that thing. And only I remember it.
What was the trick about the drive? As in, like, Lane's driving range?
Yeah, when I said I'll go to the range, and everyone was like, oh, I can't wait to drive. Can't wait to shoot things. And then you got there and it was just golf. But yeah, you guys are back in the centre. What's the plan?
To strangle you senseless for the Fuad Court retro.
Fun joke for our
Whatever.
listeners at home. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, they seem to be more static than the other tribes, perhaps with the exception of the people from Redeem and the Mutlali Oasis people. They were generally quite based around a place. You don't know what's going on at Trelna or the Skysayers Scriptorium.
Oh yeah, we haven't gone there yet.
Although you've been asked to go there. You were also told from speaking to the elders at Ishwala that is where he believes that the blades are going to hit.
Which it sounds like is confirmed straight from them. I mean,
What if we go there and we tell them that they're coming and then go back and say, no, it looks like your party had been spotted?
they're likely to blame us, but
I don't see how. I don't see any possible way this could backfire.
and also who is holding up there?
I guess we gotta go there and find out.
I guess the question then becomes, should we check in with Lane too, now that we know about what their intent is, to figure out what we need to do next? Because there's something about this that feels weird. I mean, just from the fact that you guys were, I heard it over the microbead there that, you know, that this Vresh is a person or something or a place, right?
I mean, it's this god that they worship, but like I said, the way he talked about it sounds like there is somewhere that they can bring the offering.
Right. If we can find out where that is, maybe, then we can figure out too if this is just an uprising.
I mean, because it's also possible that someone has claimed the name Vresh or the title, or however you want to say it. You know, they might not claim to truly be Vresh themselves, with some greater disciple. This, that, or the other. Who knows? There's a lot of possibilities there, but it seems like the offering is going to whatever they consider Vresh. So where is that? That could simply be burned away in a ritual pit, or it could be brought to a person or place. Like, we need a way to track it.
Maybe some other Skyfallen came here and kind of hoisted them, like converted a kind of group of dangerous but still misguided thugs to a paramilitary organization. Because, look, I'll be honest, that's what I've been thinking the entire time.
That they took over the religion to make them into a military.
No, like, look, if I look at Lothar. If I landed on Lothar's planet and then could convince a group of idiots like that I was a god, wouldn't you?
No.
I mean, to be fair, we kind of just did, didn't we?
Well, look.
I
just said
picture
we
this
have
as
the
you guys are like setting up camp for the evening as you're having
Yeah,
this
yeah,
conversation
yeah.
a little way away from Quartz Crossing,
Mhm.
obviously. But yeah. Interesting theories.
Mm.
Do you guys like to
Yeah.
camp for tonight? And then where would you like to go in the morning?
I guess we go to where they wanted us to scout, eh?
Yeah, because otherwise they're going to be very suspicious if we don't. And probably already have a couple of people out that way anyhow. They're probably just seeing if we're worth our salt, if you ask me. Out of character, but I don't know. Feels like they would already have eyes out that way to figure out. It's not a hard job. So probably just seeing if we're actually on the up and up or not.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, we should go there to just find out who's at this place anyway and what the deal is, because we you never know.
True.
So same as last time, you guys are going to be. I'm going to mark down 1 day of food and water. But yeah, same as last time. Lothar outriding and
Mhm.
everyone cracking on. Awesome. Right then. In that case, could I get a operate vehicle test, please, from you, Amelia? So still got 4 days
Operate
worth of food. Sorry, 4 days
surface,
worth of
right?
fuel. Yes. Awesome. 2
Very
degrees of
nice.
success, and then 1 big fat D100 for me. Let's see. 24. Okay, cool. As you guys are going along, I'm going to say around maybe 1 p.m. as you're heading southeast towards the Skystarer's scriptorium, you find that you are following a small trail of footsteps ambling across the sand. Whatever it is you are following, clearly from a creature that's small and lightweight, and they're making no effort to hide themselves, which is unusual in this desert. The tracks veer off towards the northeast, so not in the direction that you're heading in. Would you like to follow them?
I don't know.
No, up to you.
Like, we don't always need to investigate everything.
That is true.
I think we should. Side quests, we get more XP.
That is how it works. Yeah, you guys are soon ready to go to your 5th level, where you unlock the dragon ability, and you can strike down the evil king. Maybe we should run an RPG in character here, as in like during one of your interlude sessions, Lane brings out Dragons and Dungeons, and you all sit down and play through it. God, what a terrible idea! That would be a podcast and a podcast. Oh God, what if Lane records it and distributes it across the press? Oh no! Oh, yes.
If you guys want to investigate, yeah, I'm just saying.
So yeah, I think Tori, yeah, you jump out of the centaur, you pull up. You got
Is
Tori,
it clearly animinial in concept?
give me a survival roll, please. The perception-based one, if possible, or intelligence, whichever one it is.
Yep.
Perception, yeah. That'd be perfect.
Survive. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. Not agility?
No, you're looking at the tracks to try and do it. You're not trying to hunt for the tracks.
Can I look at them through my magnocular? Can I use my book? Can I use Lane's Christmas present?
Oh, yeah, I'll give you a +10 for Lane's Sanguinala present. Yeah, why not? Let's see. Well, Tora,
Oh,
any animal in this book? Sorry, as you're on
I
there.
will fate to reroll.
Okay, perfect. Reroll that. And well, Tora, it certainly isn't anything in this book. I think
Why
actually,
is it rolling GM?
I don't know. I think with a roll of 100, I
You
actually.
ever try to like?
Oh wait,
Get...
Here we go. Hold up. Let's.
Well, I'm still counting your 100 roll, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah,
Can you
perfect.
guys see that now?
Yes, we all can.
Yes.
So, with that 100 roll, I think actually, as you open the book, I think the desert wind whips across a whole section, and your entire section of sea life has been removed from this book, scattered to the wind.
Tora doesn't like killing things in the ocean anyway.
He's already marked off one crab, but other than that, it's all gone.
No.
Critter, were you able to hear all of that?
Depressing.
Most of it, yes.
Perfect. Okay, so they followed some tracks. Tora is unable to identify what these tracks are of, but it's something small and skittish in terms of how it's moving across the desert sand. It seems to disappear over a sand dune, and then you can't see it because you can't see through sand. Would you like to follow it further, whatever it is?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Does Tora have magnoculars?
Yes, Tora does have
Okay, cool.
binoculars.
Tora, as you climb the sand dune, looking to the northeast, you see very, very far away figure, and when you look through the magnoculars, you see it is a gaunt-faced child, her face matted with sand and dressed in rags. She is dragging a leather bag behind her in the sand.
Does this child look familiar?
Tora, this child looks familiar. This is the child that you
let's go
rescued
kill her.
from Redeem.
Let's go rescue the child and definitely not kill it.
Well, what a lovely way of putting it. Bear in mind, no one else has seen this child before.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Guys, my imaginary friend is real.
Okay.
I can't tell if he's.
I
fucked or not.
tried to tell you at the back at the village that there was a child, but Lothar, I think, was too busy thinking I'd eaten Orphamiel.
Yeah, actually. So, wait, what was that part about not killing?
Why would
Yes?
she be all the way out here? Sorry, they. I guess you didn't say it was a girl.
Maybe this child has secrets to tell us.
But why kill the child then?
I explicitly said we're not going to kill the child.
I almost feel like
The
you
way
weren't
you
talking to us.
say it. Yes, okay. I'm for saving a kid, though. If they actually need help.
Cool. So what would you guys like to do? Would you like to... I'm going to be honest, you can run faster than the child. Do you want to follow behind on the centaur? Do you want to follow behind on horseback? What's the plan here?
Let's have Lothar hunt her down on horseback.
With a lasso.
I really don't like the way you're saying this. Alright.
Look, I copped a lot of flack for necessary casualties on the Veneta Magno. I'm just being very clear about it from this point onwards.
Right. Okay. Alright, so then I guess I'm going to, abide by the Geneva Convention or whatever. And we're
It's
going
a Geneva
to hunt
suggestion
down
at
this
this
child.
point. Like, yeah,
Geneva
you
suggestion.
hunt down this child. Go on.
No, so I'm going to start riding up,
Cool.
I guess, to said kiddo and say evening.
The child definitely notices you approaching. I don't think you're trying to be stealthy, and horse heresy is a horse. Notoriously hard to tiptoe. I think when she sees you, she erratically changes direction and is now running off in a completely different one.
Whoa! Slow down. Friend, I'm here to help.
She is still running, the bag being knocked around behind her.
Hey, see
Tora,
how
what did you
annoying
do
it
to
is?
her?
I saved her from being killed in a mortar. That's what I did. I'm a bad guy.
Oh yeah, looks like she's doing great. Then why is she running?
Why are you running? Tori yells out after her.
She does not hear you. She is running all the faster. I love the idea that Tora's on the centaur, watching through binoculars, is chasing after this kid. He's see what I mean? Oh god.
Hey, BGZ, do you reckon you could take a shot just to cripple the child to stop her from running?
No.
He says, "This is a heavy stubber." No.
I too admire your confidence. Yes, I believe you can do it as well. Take the shot.
BGZ looks at you, Amelia.
Why are you looking at her?
I already said no.
I thought we were friends.
He is caught between the two of you, unsure whether or not to shoot the child.
If you're going to shoot, like, even if you were to shoot to, like, prevent her from going forward, right? Shoot in to block her path and, like, oh, God, there's a shot in the sand. Like, you're just scaring her more. What reason does this child have to trust any of us right now? And also, why? We're assuming they need help, but they're clearly out here doing their own thing.
Oh, yes, let's leave a child clearly dehydrated.
Was
And
that part of it? Then I missed that
She
part.
looks quite gaunt. And
How the hell is she running?
Look,
fast.
just-
Gaunt people can run.
Just wait. Just keep following her in horse heresy just up until she loses
Collapses.
steam.
Somehow I don't feel quite okay with the shooting thing, so
Yeah, I
I would
do.
prefer to follow, I guess. Why are we following her?
I don't know.
That's fair. Good enough
Do
for
what you
me.
want. Yeah.
Yep. All right, then I guess I'll trot along and kind of wait until eventually she's going to collapse from dehydration.
I think after 20 minutes of running, with you
Why
quite
you're
literally
running?
trotting beside her, I think you bring the centaur close enough to still see this. You're not near her at all, but close enough. I think she doesn't collapse, but she stops where she is. She's probably around like 5 or 6 years old. She's clutching this bag very, very closely to her chest, and she kind of
The
stops
most tender of meat.
and then turns to you, Lothar. She's looking straight at you. She does not look well. She does look like she hasn't. She looks like she's been on the run for about a week. Like, she ain't looking good.
Listen, kid, and Lothar's going to hop off the horse.
She
He's gonna
stays
get down on
exactly where she is.
Lothar's going to get down on a knee, and he's going to take out one of the corpse starch bars, and just to hand it out to her. Say, listen, we're here to help.
Are you like holding it out to her, or like
Yeah.
getting on the ground? Okay.
No, hold it out.
She takes a step back from you as you raise your hand with your corpse touch bar.
Oh, right. Sorry. Here, and Lothar's going to take a piece of it and kind of chew on it and show, hey, it's not like poison or anything like that. I'm okay, even though it tastes like dead people. But so no food. Which food? You haven't
Good
eaten,
food.
have you?
Make a. I feel like this is a fellowship test.
It is, and I am going to do really bad at a fellowship test.
I don't think any of us do great on a fellow.
Bless
That's
Amazing. A skill of 30.
This
a target 30. You
that's
got
the reason
30.
I'm rolling badly.
What?
I rolled a 3. My target was a 30. I did
Oh.
good.
No, he's taken all the luck.
Oh,
I have-
that's it. Yes, he's absorbed it all.
Yep.
Well, good thing you got the luck when he was shooting a can at your hand. That would have been bad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would have
Yeah.
absolutely.
Look how
ruined
strong we
you.
are, and he gets his hand fucking exploded.
Yeah, Tora would have just grinned and
That still would have been strong. Like,
That would have been metal as fuck.
Tears streaming down his face. He's like, look how strong I am. Lothar, very, very shakily, like a cornered animal, she extends her hand and grabs the bar out of your hand and backs away from you.
Kid, do you know where you're going?
She does not respond to you.
Do you at least know north, south, east, west?
Again, she stares at you with a blank stare.
You have no clue what I'm talking about, do you?
She does not respond.
She doesn't speak the language I'm speaking, does she? Right. I point at myself, and I point at Horse Heresy. I point over at the Centaur. We are going to a place that's safe. We can take you there.
She
Might be.
stays on the spot. She does not move.
Or if you don't feel safe with us, that's fine. So long as you stay close enough to follow the tracks. Can you do that?
She doesn't respond. She's regaining her breath now.
I'll let you ride the horse.
Again, nothing from her.
Wow, okay. I really thought that would have done it.
The kids
I
love
don't
horses.
think-
She's a horse girl.
Absolutely. Okay, well, and Lothar's going to hop back up. Says, follow us or don't. But we've got more food and water if you need it. At the very least, make your way south.
Do you trot
And,
back to the centaur?
Absolutely do.
As you link back up, the girl is exactly where you left her.
Yeah, as you asked, does she even know what you're saying?
I'm going to be honest with you, Amelia. I have no clue if I even know what I'm saying. No, I don't. I don't think she does. Unless you've got some way to talk to her that. Well, I don't know.
Don't have a translator of any sort.
The people here on Aljdar all seem to speak Low Gothic.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've been
Right.
able to talk to them, so there's that.
Oh.
Also, she's probably like, if anything, she's mentally messed up from watching everybody die around her
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I
and
told her
not
to,
trusting other people. It makes sense. However, do you let her die on her own in the desert, or do we take her and try to prove that we're better than that?
I think taking her is not going to do it. I told her to follow, and
And she
I'm
did
gonna.
it. She's still standing there.
She's
No.
literally in the same spot.
So what? You think I should go pick her up then?
I mean, if you just, I suppose, think of the other. We couldn't help. We can do more for this girl if we take her rather than leave her.
Lothar's going to look back over towards her and look back at him and say, all right, but I think maybe I'm not cut out to talk to kids. Maybe if you tried.
I mean, sure. Other than you guys, I've only spoken to machines my whole life, but
Well, yeah, but she might respond. She might respond better to someone with like I don't know, a motherly touch.
BGZ turns to you and says, I can get the child.
VGZ,
He racks around.
Yeah. He's dialing in the sights as you speak.
we need to give him like a optional faceplate he can put on for happy emotion.
You know what I want very much is that he's got different emoji faces that he can
Yeah,
pop on.
we need to give him a
That'd be great.
fuck, what's the band called? A Daft Punk helmet.
Yeah.
So it can change.
Around the world,
The ways of the machine spirit are strange and mysterious.
Aljadar,
Yeah, then soon enough we'll weebify him, and
Absolutely.
we'll be doing heart hand emojis and having hearts appear for his eyes.
Oh my god. By the Omnisire.
That's amazing.
By the Omnisire.
I
Very
mean, I'll try to talk to her, but I suppose ultimately I will also grab her and
Okay. So,
and bring her back.
Amelia, you walk over to her. And she kind of stares at you as you approach.
First things first, I want to bring out a water skin
Oh, okay. Yeah, she
and kind of kneel down as well, get on her level, and just
Yeah.
kind of shake it so you can hear the water. It's like, you understand.
I think she extends a shaking hand towards you.
I extend my hand, but don't, no other movement at this point. Just let her grab it. And just...
I'm gonna be saying to Tora, you see what I mean? It's like a mother's touch.
Yes, sexism alive and well. I do too.
She pops the cork off of the water skin and drinks very, very greedily.
It's a good thing us two Sigma males here are here to balance it out.
music starts playing, your
There's
face
three
is
of us.
contort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, BGC
that's
looks
what
at you
BGC
both.
looks like
like-
under the armor, is that Omega chat.
Oh god. Yeah, so
It's
she
canon. Warwick laughed. It's canon now.
It's canon. That's how it works.
One day his armor's gonna get like ripped off in some big explosion or something.
Oh,
But yeah, no, as you know, she's drinking and whatnot. I tried to sort of move closer, kind of like sit down next to her more so, like scooting in like a half circle, not
Okay.
directly. You know what I mean? And just
she
offer her another when she is finished. You know, offer her more to drink.
she hands the empty water skin back to you. She doesn't appear to have noticed that you have moved closer to her, and she greedily takes the second one and drinks.
Then you know, I'm going to. Oh no, I gave the sand to the other people, right? I didn't keep it. I don't remember.
From Mars. Yeah, that was back at Sundered Crossing.
Right, because I had like a little extra bit of it, but the rest is on the ship.
Mm.
So then, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of like noticing she's got her pack. I'm gonna kind of take out my pendant that I've recently fixed back together,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of you know hold it and extend it a little bit, and you know like sure that this is something special of mine, and I see you have something special you're holding on to.
She looks at it quite blankly, but kind of watches it as it sways in the breeze.
Well, I'll hold it. I'll kind of put it back in my palm and just show her, like, you know, there's a green leaf inside.
Mm.
Like, have you? I'm just kind of just talking,
Yeah.
whether or not she responds. Just,
Yeah.
have you ever seen anything like this?
She stares at it, but yeah, she's not obviously. She doesn't go, "Yes, Amelia, yes, I love it."
Of
But
course,
she seems
yeah.
to be just watching it quite intently.
So, whether or not she's listening, I'm just gonna sit there for a little bit, and I'm just gonna talk about, you know, my home on the desert and how this was a rare thing, and you know, it's special to me. Kind of bring it close to my chest and then back out like she's holding the bag, and
Yeah.
then eventually kind of ask, you know, and kind of point to her bag. What are you holding?
She grabs the bag tightly across her chest.
I put my hand up. I don't want it. I was just curious. There's something you're trying to bring somewhere.
She is still holding it tightly and is just watching you.
Well, I point back to the big car that we have. You like to go somewhere safe. I point, you know, it's kind of like Lothar did a little bit. Try to use some hand signals in case she
She
isn't understanding of
Doesn't
like
seem to respond.
if
But
I
the fact that she pulled her bag close after you said about her bag does imply that she is able to hear and understand you.
yeah
She
okay.
just simply does not respond.
Well, I do kind of motion then to the water skin again and say, we do have more water and food over there. If you would, I kind of offer my hand, like to walk back with me. We can bring you where you need to go when you're ready.
She does not take your hand and stays standing where she is.
I don't know. It feels weird to just like take her away forcefully as well. Like any goodwill would be destroyed by that.
Where are you going?
What would you like to do?
Hey, do you remember me, Uncle Tora?
Is Tora walking over at this point?
Tora gets up and goes. Tora pulls a hacky sack. I don't know.
Yeah, of course he does.
Tora pulls out his Fudderat colouring in sheets and his crayons.
I'll remind you, you lost your Fudderux colouring in sheet.
I did.
Yeah.
Because I already tried to trap her with it before,
Exactly.
didn't I?
She did seem interested in it, and then it was lost in the blaze of her home. So you reach into that familiar part of your pocket where the Fudderux colouring in sheet and patented blue and yellow crayons are, and it is not there.
Tora weeps a
Please
little
mark
bit.
down an insanity point, please.
Done.
What would you like to do? Tora, she doesn't seem to recognise you from that night.
Okay, that might actually be for the best.
Mm.
Is it not on? Is it not on the third? Oh, is it under advancements?
Please don't
There
mark
it
up an
is.
insanity point.
41.
Rugby lost.
No,
Oh,
41.
okay.
I'm just trying to think of like what is the best course of action. Like, obviously we could just leave her and say fuck it, but that doesn't feel right. Grabbing her also doesn't feel right.
Am I giving you a difficult decision that you guys have to deal with? Because, oof, I'm sorry. What would you like to do? I say with a shit-eating grin.
To
I'm
be fair,
almost tempted to just stay there with her for a time.
do we want to just make camp here? And then invite her over?
Yeah, you know what? I'll just say, well, yeah, whatever. You know, you guys make camp a little bit of ways, and I'm just gonna sit here for a while.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Just keep us posted if there's anything that happens, okay?
I'm going to say you're a little while away from Sky Starers still. That's a lot of sibilants, wow. But yeah, I will count this for your camp for tonight, and we can get to Sky Starers tomorrow. But yeah, you guys, I think, slowly begin to set up a camp. BGZ brings the centaur around. She stares at you all, making camp.
As they do from a distance,
Yeah.
I'm still gonna be pointing out and talking about what they're doing and who they are, and you know, so just talking. At least her getting used to my voice.
Yeah. She is still standing and is just watching them rather than watching you at this point.
I'm not just gonna grab her, at least not yet. Like I mentioned, you know, you know, you must not have a safe place at night. We have extra tents. We can make a place for you. In fact, you kind of mentioned to them that, you know, set up something extra.
On it.
So yeah, you put another tent up a little way away from your fire.
Tora would like. Actually, Tora's going to poke Warwick in just a moment.
Okay, I can't wait to read this.
I'm also going to try and take the liberty there too of trying to set up an extra little rucksack or something like that near. So, you know, just to use what supplies we got.
Yeah, you've got like a little. I think it's probably the remains of like some of the food sacks and stuff that you're able to rig up. Tora, make a GM roll, sleight of hand roll, please.
Done.
That's done. That's all I'll say. I love playing games. Love playing games with my friends.
I'm worried.
With Og, it can be a million things.
9 times out of 10, he's stealing
Well, the
something from
girl
me,
is not
so.
stolen, I assume. So
okay, cool. Lovely. Yeah. Yeah, you guys set up camp. The girl remains where she is. I don't know if you still want to stay with her, Amelia.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I don't have. It's not a problem for me at this point. We're well fed and everything.
I think you guys, yeah, the stars start to come out, and I think she, mostly from tiredness rather than relaxation, but sits down on the dune, and as she does so, a great sigh, breathless, emanates from her body.
Does anyone have any paper?
I probably do. Here, let me check my pack quick.
You've
Like,
probably
I have
got a
the
few.
book,
Little,
but I can't draw in the book. It's a very well. I can draw in the book, but it's a list.
Well, wait, what book? As I'm looking.
The book, and Tora pulls out. He's scribbled out the title, and it's what did we say it was? It was Tora's guide.
It was basically a bestiary from a rogue trader, of all the animals he saw in his travels. It's not meant to be a kill list, but it's more meant to be like, oh, here's an alphabetical list of weird Xenos.
No, but I thought at a different point we last time the book appeared, we said that Tora had just like covered it.
Oh, he's basically he's annotated every drawing. In
Yeah,
terms
no,
of, like,
but
I would
I
stab
can't
it
remember
here.
what title we gave it.
Oh, I don't know. Tora's Big Book of Animal Stabbing, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Tora's big old book of fun.
Yeah,
It's just like a Fuddruck's colouring in sheet over the top of it.
yeah.
Oh my god.
He pulls out the book and goes to the desert section and just showing off the pretty pictures of the child.
Oh,
So
are you over there with the kid?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Tora walks over with the book and says, "You want to look at book?"
She does look at the. She doesn't hold the book, but she watches as you flick through the pages. There's no sparkle of recognition behind her eyes, but she is looking at it at least.
Yeah.
Oh, this poor kid.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon would be the best to kill? Because let me show you. And there's a well annotated, like well thumbed section. There's a bookmark and also a couple sticky notes to it. And opens it up, and it's golden retrievers. What do you think of this? What do you think of this beauty?
She just stares at it blankly.
Did you know I killed the last one?
She does not know that, but you wouldn't know it from her face.
Hey, Amelia, is Tora over there with you?
Yeah.
Oh, great. How's it going?
I mean, no different.
Oh, all right. I lost track of him and I wasn't sure. All right.
Cool. What would you
Yeah,
guys
that's
like
it.
to do? You've kind of got a child who's now on the outskirts of your camp that you set up for the night.
Tora, are we gonna sit around and chat for a bit, or are we all gonna go to bed?
May as well sit and chat. Probably gotta talk about the kid. It depends on if
Well, I think
Amelia's coming back
I'm gonna
over.
just stay over there and
All right.
you know, like
Lothar.
again, I'm not really gonna, I guess, slave. I'm just curious what the kid is going to do.
You have pretend lungs. I have pretend arms. Whose is cooler?
How did you know I have pretend lungs?
Oh, when I look, I spent a lot of time sneaking in and out of that medical bay.
Oh yeah, I do vaguely remember that. Okay.
I wouldn't say read your file because I'm not great at that, but I've definitely looked at it.
Great. Oh, I'm glad that there was a file kept.
Mm.
Yeah, Peter
Wait.
had it for me.
Ugh.
Yeah, Peter. Peter, the file guy.
Ah!
I hate
Oh, you
it
know,
now.
also, I know one thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, you know, she's finally sitting down or whatever. I'm gonna like kind of lean back and rest and whatnot. You know, but I'm going to use my megadendrite to still have vision, even if I close my eyes.
Oh. She is sat there, I think, just staring at the fire in the distance.
Oh.
I just an ocular implant at the end of a fucking. Oh god.
It's on the side of my head anyway. Like I can take it off the little hook that it has and move it around.
Yeah, she just seems to be staring at the fire in the distance.
My point being is like I don't truly want to sleep. Maybe
Yeah.
little micro sleeps here or there. I don't mind being off the next day, but you know, I don't want her to just disappear and have no knowledge of where she went. That's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
All right, Lothar. I'm gonna have a wank, so I'm gonna retire for the night.
I'm glad at least this time you told me.
BGZ is sat by the fire with the carbine across his lap.
Why is he like that? All right. I'm gonna take it that you're gonna be staying up tonight, then, huh?
BGZ nods at you slowly.
I figured. I don't think we're going to have any effect on whether this kid gets somewhere safe or not, are we?
You're talking to BGZ, so
Mhm. Oh yeah, no, I'm not expecting him to say anything necessarily.
I mean, out of character, they've been able to survive on their own, but not very well.
Hmm.
I imagine they clearly, there's trust issues or whatever. They likely saw a lot of people die, things burn, their home is gone, etc. But yeah, how do you break through that shell shock or whatever?
For those of you listening at home, BGZ has turned to Lothar and says, "I do not like the child."
There can only be one damaged one in the party.
Yeah.
The dads and mum have already adopted me. Why are they getting another child?
Oh, I didn't think of it that way. At the very least, I'm hoping we can get her to where she needs to go, whether that's with us or not. I don't know. I've definitely seen that look in her eyes and other folks too. I don't know. She seems like a tough kid. I'm sure she'll probably make it.
What would you
Right?
guys like to do?
I just have this image of Newt
Of Newt.
Newt Gingrich.
from
Yeah,
from
the one
fucking
who
Aliens.
owns all the banks, the
Oh.
Rothschild.
Mm.
Or Alien. I don't know which one. It's Alien.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Good shout.
Oh,
Yeah, the kid in
one
Aliens.
where is it the third one?
Yeah.
Aliens Isolation.
Aliens with 3 S's.
Yeah.
I think it's
It's,
Aliens 3, isn't it?
Rebecca Newt Jordan in Aliens.
Oh yeah,
3.
no, it's A3ans, isn't it? Yeah.
A3ans, yeah. That's a good shout, actually, yeah, in terms of for the live action.
For the
remake.
live action.
But yeah, she is basically just staring at the fire. Yeah, do you all settle in for the evening?
Yeah, as stated. Yeah.
Cool.
I think yes. A part of me is I'm debating something. We can
Okay.
move on.
Cool. I think that, let's say you turn in around 10 o'clock. I think Amelia, as you are faking being asleep, around midnight, the child slowly walks towards the camp very, very slowly, as if she is approaching as if she is sneaking up on an unsuspecting animal. It is a hunter's walk. Very, very as quiet as she can make it. Obviously, you've noticed her.
Is she going to the tent that we set up for her? Or is she just going to like the fire?
For now, she seems to be heading towards the fire.
Has Lothar gone to bed?
I would think Lothar probably has gone to bed at this point. I'm
Why?
so worried.
Should it happen now? So okay,
You, mate.
now or in the morning?
Let's say now.
Okay.
What did you do?
Lothar, as you climb into your sleeping bag, from the sand underneath you, 2 meaty arms emerge and wrap themselves around you and go, surprise!
I scare the shit out of Lothar.
And then Tora shakes the sand off him and then goes to bed.
I thought he was gonna wake up to you eating his toenails.
Yeah, without Tora's frequent upkeep of your toenails, they're actually getting quite long whilst you're on
I mean, I could genetically modify your stomach to be able to eat this.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah, that's the Mechanicus's power used correctly.
That's awful, and I hate
Magos Amelia, what great things did you learn in the Inquisition?
Look, I got this man, and now he eats my toenails.
Yeah,
we call him a simp.
Tora, you finished. You finished your wank, and you finished hiding underneath Lothar's sleeping bag in a little sand pit, and you go into your tent.
Lothar tries to go back to sleep in his now slightly excavated
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
sleeping bag.
Yeah, Amelia, you're sleeping out under the stars. And you all kind of drift off slowly to sleep. You are
Well-
awoken. Oh yeah, sorry.
Well, I was just saying, like, I don't want to fully go to sleep.
Okay.
Whatever negatives that gives me the next
Yeah,
day.
you see the. Okay, fair enough. The child slowly then, as you're half asleep, seems to approach the fire. Seems to stand there for a while. BGZ is staring at her.
Sorry.
Bless you. I think just as you were drifting off, Amelia, just as you're on the edge of unconsciousness, a loud crack awaits you from your sleep. Bolting upright, BGZ has fired a shot up in the air with his radium carbine. As the rest of you poke your heads out of the tent, the child has reached for some of the supplies that are on the side of the centaur.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Thief, he says.
Tora comes out. Tora, actually, there's a child. Tora doesn't come out commando.
I guess just
There's
like
some decency.
putting it together. What he's, like just put the gun away. He's a thief of necessity.
Yeah. Only steal what you need. That's why I stole all those things.
I do not think he responds to you, Amelia. He keeps his gun up in the air, but you see through his vision slit he's locked eyes with this child who is staring at him, cold.
I'll just like I try to scramble back a bit, like he's looking for trying to stay alive out here. Firing your gun isn't gonna help her trust us.
Can be no trust when they stray from the. I don't even know.
Mm.
Tora doesn't say anything in character just yet.
I think Lothar's still asleep.
Lothar was
Really?
woken up by a gunshot, I'll be honest with you.
Okay, that's fair. He's
Yeah.
probably...
I think BGZ retains his carbine up in the air.
They're up in the air. He's not shooting her. I guess, I mean, if she's just standing there, yeah.
Yeah.
She hasn't moved or done anything else.
She's standing there, her hand reaching for one of the supply packs on the side.
Yeah, I would like to approach and, like, obviously make her aware that I'm there, but then also, like, kind of guide her a little bit away and down from the supplies.
Okay.
Like, not super forcefully, but
Okay.
kind of just like,
But
yeah.
Okay, cool. As you place a hand maybe on her wrist to very, very gently move her away from the supplies, something happens. For a half second, nothing happens as you make contact. Then the child seems to slump slightly, her head cracking back up into an upright position. She turns to you, her eyes have rolled back in her head for a moment, and her mouth opens in a voiceless scream. Then it hits you. A high-pitched scream rending your eardrums with its force. The sand gets blasted from your clothing. Amelia, you are knocked back by the force, and BGZ, he staggers back against the centaur. The two of you inside your tents, they flutter briefly from the force of this. Something in your mouths tastes metallic. The child begins to run.
Can Tora pull out his, his little Saturday night special, the compact revolver?
Yep.
Can he pull that from where he keeps it in his underwear, seeing as he's only wearing underwear, and just take like a whip shot at the child as it's fleeing?
What are you trying to throw it at?
Absolutely.
I'm taking a shot.
Make a half aim.
He only
A grapple?
No,
As in he's firing at her.
He's got a little like one shot pistol.
Well, okay, so obviously Amelia doesn't know about every like little thing, but
Short range? It's no standard range, probably. Yeah.
Standard range.
This I assume is a psychic thing.
It seems to be so.
I mean, I've experienced that before with fucking John.
Yeah.
But not necessarily a shockwave ability. But I guess my question would be is like I don't know the difference between a normal psyker and a blank and like what they're capable of.
Different things. You've met blanks before. Blanks are the opposite of psykers.
Right, they don't have powers at all.
No, they
just negate
blank.
power.
Well, no, that's not entirely true. Blanks can manifest blankness. Like, look at this.
So do you remember the hermit that you guys met on the
yeah.
way to Mutali? That was a blank. The reason Viridius found him so freaky is because they are the antithesis of psychic powers.
And most people find them freaky for the same reason, because they make you uncomfortable.
Yeah. But this appears to be a psychic. Or a psyker, rather. That's a hit. Roll damage for me. Damage hasn't popped up for me. What was it?
Yeah, hasn't popped up for me either. So it's 1d10 plus 2.
Okay, I'm just going to roll that quickly.
Yeah, for some reason it was the same as
Strange. Okay.
Predators.
Oh, perfect. 3. I think this shot clips the girl in her shoulder. She drops the pack she was carrying, and staggers and tries to keep running as best she can.
I just like hesitant. Like it's like, yeah, I'm still getting up. I'm like, why are you shooting her?
BGZ has yelled witch, and he's racking the slide of his radium carbine and rounding the corner of the centaur.
Tora was having a real nice dream about something non-dog related, probably. Was woken up by a psychic
What does a psyker
howl.
normally go through as well, like
So,
training wise?
So psychers are usually picked up by people. Report psychers. It is your civic duty as a citizen, and they are picked up by black ships, which are run by the Inquisition. Psychers are basically whacked on these black ships, taken to Terra, where they go through a process known as soul binding. If they are a weaker psyker, what happens is they are fed into the Golden Throne. If they are stronger psychers, they are sanctioned, which means they are soul-bound to the Emperor. They share a portion of their life force with him, and in exchange, he basically limits their abilities. Rules-wise, this means they roll better on the Perils of the Warp table. Law-wise, this means it's basically restricting their powers so that they're less prone to demonic possession. This is not that. This is someone who you imagine is not old enough to have been taken to Terra and back again, or fed to the Golden Throne.
Well,
She's
yeah,
unsanctioned.
there obviously would be. Yeah, I'm just trying. I just wasn't sure what the process was. So they're just hanging around, trying to survive, and they got magic powers basically on top of everything.
Yeah, if Tora's woken up
Yep.
by a psychic howl that's causing his him to feel like he's having a stroke, he's just gonna stop laughing. Tora's got no problem killing children.
I'm just saying, you don't necessarily
Tora
know it
tried
came
his
from her. You just
Take another
immediately
shot.
woke up and shot a child.
Tora.
Whatever.
Well, would Tora have time to grab the? No, Tora's definitely just killing this child.
Up to you.
Well, actually, is she within 15 meters?
No.
Cool. I probably should have rolled that with because the compact revolver's range is only 15.
I guess
Oh, okay,
another question would be
okay.
is like how psychers just have unlimited ability, or can they exhaust themselves?
A little bit of both. Well, they've potentially got an unlimited well, but eventually the water will run dry, if that makes sense. But you
And
can
also
go
the
as deep as you like.
consequences of running deeper and deeper is
Right, no, that's what I'm just saying is like, oh, is there a point of like, if this was exalted, we could get them to use up all their, energy and then be.
You do not know how many spell slots she has remaining.
yeah. I don't know.
BGZ is basically coming around the corner of the centaur, ready to shoot at her.
I kind of want to run in the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think BGZ is. He's got a very clear shot. He's resting his aim against the centaur as you walk in front of him.
Well, I'll just kind of run up and just like I guess look into the these guys and whatnot. Just feel like there's why kill her?
I'm not even sure what's going on.
He says
Where are we
negative
shooting
target
at
is
now?
priority abhorrent.
If nothing else, let her live as long as she can on her own.
the Emperor doesn't abhors the mutant, the heretic.
What would you like to do, Tora, as you're in your underwear?
Gora, I guess, will grab the his other stupidly, the revolver with deactivated safety features.
Yeah.
Which is just, what did we say it was? He's just filed the
he's taken the trigger guard off. Yeah.
Tora grabs Little Scythe Jr. Tora grabs Little Scythe Jr., drops the compact revolver and his. I'm sure Tora would be like have his weapons like hanging up on the side of the tent.
God, yeah, it's like a bloody what do they use for kids? Like dangling over a kid's cot.
Oh yeah, kids
Yeah.
with their weapons.
Yeah, I picture Tora's doing that, but with guns.
Tora grabs Little Scythe Jr. and his revolver and goes up after the girl, trying to like pop another shot.
Sure, make a shot. No aim, I guess, if you're running after her.
Yeah, no aim. And would you say short range? Like the range of the pistol's 30 meters.
Yeah. Like she is wounded, she is running.
And I can't. Yeah, no, it's just a standard. Ooh.
That is a miss, I'm afraid. The shot goes wide. She tries to run as fast as she can, but she is panicked and terrified. She is still not screamed for a second time. Amelia, you kind of get the feeling that BGZ is about to barge past you.
It's not like I can stop these two, and I'm not gonna shoot them either to make them stop. But I'm just gonna say, just stop. Just let her run. Stop.
BGZ looks at you, raises his carbine, it says negative, Ave Omnisci, and he takes a shot. Let's see if he hits.
I feel so bad for this little girl. Because either...
He hits.
Oh no.
And I think in a skillful quick burst, she drops down, dead, unmoving, slumping face first into the sand.
I think my natural response would be to run over there and, medically, what can I do?
BGZ says it is done, and by the time you get there, Amelia, there is nothing you can do. She was probably dead before she hit the ground.
Is anyone gonna explain what's going on?
Oh. Alright, it's alright, go back to bed. I'll be with you for your toenails soon enough.
What would you like to do?
Tora makes a quiet blessing to the Emperor, and smokes a cigarette.
BGZ, perhaps quite worryingly, just goes back to his position, cross-legged in front of the fire.
Lothar's gonna be rubbing his eyes and trying to just process everything that just happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Amelia's just gonna be like quiet, like on her knees over the body.
Yeah.
Fuck. Rough. I genuinely didn't see that coming. But of course, she's not going to talk because she opens her mouth and she screams psychic energy.
Son of a gun, yeah.
I think you all settle in for a restless night of sleep.
What's in the bag? Unless,
The bag
I mean, Lothar's not gonna look, but like,
Yeah, the bag she dumped behind, I think, yeah, maybe Amelia, you pick at it and it contains some food and some water. Nothing more.
He
oh
could
my
have
God.
communicated without speaking.
None of us know like sign language, and I'm pretty sure you can't do sign language
But
with Low Gothic.
she wasn't trying to do anything, though. That's the
You're right, it's her fault.
no.
Yeah, it's
Victim
blame on
blame.
this one.
It's your
Victim
fault.
blame.
Yeah.
It's not God's fault.
Yeah.
Sometimes the world is
It's the Emperor's
cruel.
fault. And yeah, her blood pools, and all of you, Amelia, you're definitely not sleeping tonight. For the rest of you trying to do, you can.